Hello, Sag Rising. Welcome to Scopes Unshamed. This is May 2026. So, the first thing that I'm going to suggest is that you go back and listen to April. Let me tell you why. Because there's something really, really powerful about listening to the cycle that you've just been in here a month and being able to run it through your awareness of what you are actually going through, the actual evidence of your life, the data of the conversations, the surprises, the ahas, the big questions you were living into. These were the things that came up. Now you can hear the astrology, the magical language, and really put the evidence of your life inside of the magical language so that it can help you feel into the larger picture of what is the unfolding path that you're on. What is the emerging story that you're living inside? And then from that anchoring, you're able to receive this scope, this horoscope, which is speaking about the future this May. And you're able to do that from a place of like really knowing where you're starting from. So that's my suggestion. So, May 2026 is an interesting month because there's a full moon on May 1st, and then there's a full moon on May 31st, and this is unusual. It's sort of like I see it like these two full moons are holding the whole month, and like we're in a hammock between them. They're going to be very different feeling full moons, and that's something that you can track. So, this first full moon is going to be in the sign of Scorpio. And Scorpio is inherently already a very deep feeling sign. It's a part of us that drops into the truth of the deeper wells of feeling that we possess in the mysteries of our system. Feeling is itself such a mystery experience. And it also is the feeling of truth. Truth being something very high sensation, actually. The truth of how we feel. Very high sensation and also very vulnerable. Vulnerability may be a big theme, whereby to be vulnerable is to be capable of being wounded. And to be capable of being wounded is to be alive. So for me, vulnerability is the door we walk through to feel more alive. To feel more alive, we're going to have to feel more. Feeling more will mean feeling more. As we grow our capacity to feel through healing, we find that we only just feel more. It's not like we get out of feeling at all. So, this full moon may be really just like illuminating this, like illuminating some of the deeper, kind of like the deeper trajectories of even pain, suffering, affliction in your life. I don't mean this to scare you because if we're people who are walking into vulnerability, that means that we will also be able to hold the fact that life includes these things. And the full moon of Scorpio is not here to terrify us. It's here to help us be with the fullness of what life is, which includes grief, it includes loss, it includes shame. And the more we cultivate the capacity to feel those, the more we will cultivate capacity to feel pleasure, to feel gratitude, to feel genuine joy and wonder at this human experience. So a lot may be coming up for you. And the invitation is to sit back and let it all be illuminated. At a full moon, the full moon is not asking for you to go into action steps. The full moon is not asking you to pathologize. This full moon is asking you to sit back and notice what is being illuminated. That's the information of the full moon. That's what the full moon means. What's coming up in your life, what's coming up inside of you, what feelings are present. That's the information of the full moon. So you can't fuck it up. Just follow the signs of what's here that will help you know how to have compassion for yourself, how to be with yourself, how to attune to your life. So that is all giving you a lot of information, which you can then bring into some of the themes that are coming up over the course of April and then continuing on in May that may have to do with, there could be some themes you may be meeting with your health, like your habits around your health. There could be some themes coming up around like kind of like taking care of the business of being a human in a body. And we have to sleep, we have mail, we've got to take care of our bodies. There's only so much that we can do. We have capacity. We have capacity, and there are ways that we can support ourselves in feeling more served in our capacity. And one of those ways is by having people who assist us in life, people who work for us. So you could have some themes with people who work for you. And what may be coming up across the course of May, really coming from April too, is your awareness of a certain kind of no that I teach. It's called the emergent no. So the emergent no is not the same as a fuck no. Because a fuck no is like very straightforward, it's obvious, and it's even exciting to enact. It's like empowering. An emergent no is a no that's been under the surface of our awareness. So if you can imagine the ocean, if we're looking out at the ocean, we can see everything above the surface and on the surface of the water. We can't see what's under the water. And in our human life, we're only conscious of ourselves so much. There's all kinds of things about us that we can't really see because we're not super conscious of them. We're not really aware of them. Sometimes we get triggered or we have feelings that give us signals about these things, but that doesn't necessarily mean we even understand them or where they came from or what they want. Okay, so the no, N-O, that's emerging is it's emerging into our awareness, the emergent no. And it may have been under the surface of our awareness for months, years, even decades, because for whatever reason, we didn't have the capacity or the circumstances or the resources to be with that no and what it was going to mean in terms of change in our life. It's a no to a relationship. It's a no to a job. It's a no to a way of talking to yourself. It's a no to how you treat yourself. It's a no to how you treat your body. It's a no to how you treat others. It's a no to a philosophy. It's a no to a habit. It's a no to a place. It could be all kinds of things. And at this time of year, particularly, these show up. It's part of the intelligence of Aries, Taurus to Gemini. So you may have been noticing this kind of energy that's been really like pushing through, like a forceful energy that's wanting to be seen. And what you've been holding now is your awareness that something needs to change. Something may need to change, and it's going to involve a no. And that's the emergent no. So I have a whole teaching on this. There's a free link. There's a link to a free workshop and a PDF handout with all kinds of support around being a person dealing with an emergent no, and resource yourself. It's free. It's a whole thing called Abundance Begins with No. And it's all about the emergent no and how to feel better about what you're doing and how to even know how to talk about it, because it's not like a thing that people talk about a lot. So over the course of May, you're starting to really understand like what is the restructuring that's needed, what is the no that's needed, what needs to be snip snip, what needs to get updated. Like, I'm not going to do it like that anymore. It doesn't mean I'm going to end this, but I am going to update it because the way it currently is the way I set it up in the past. And I'm not that person anymore, or this isn't alive anymore. I don't want this anymore. This isn't good for me anymore, even though it may have been good for me once. Because the emergent no often has grief because whatever the thing is, it used to be helpful to us, like it used to be supportive to us, we used to be invested in it, but it's just not working anymore. And honoring the emergent no doesn't necessarily mean taking huge, big, visible action. A lot of the time, honoring the emergent no is just saying, I see you and I'm not going to let you go back into my unconscious again. Like, I'm going to keep an eye on this. I'm going to create space so that I can be with, like, what do I need? What needs to get done? Like, what's the most wise pathway? What's the most loving pathway? What's the most efficient pathway? What's the most authentic pathway for me being with this information? So, yeah, that may really start to get into clarity by the middle of the month. And it will feel so good to come into a commitment right around that new moon, which is on the 16th. The 16th of May is the new moon in Taurus, when you can really allow yourself to be like, all right, moving into this next lunar cycle, I'm going to be a person who now has what I see is necessary to stay alive and in present time with myself in my radar. I'm living it now. Then the energies start to really change. Planets change signs. There's truly going to be a really different energy in the air the second half of the month from the first half of the month. You're going to have a different set of concerns. And there's going to feel like movement, because you've made some decisions. So now you're moving. Now you're starting to go initiate and to participate into your life. And that's starting to be what comes up. Around May 22, 20, really like the whole week of like 20 through 25, there may be a mix of sudden information as well as maybe some more intense feeling, intense knowing that showcases collectively and personally. It's hard to be able to predict this kind of thing, but we're no strangers, we humans in 2026, to like sudden, shocking, intense information collectively. So you're learning, what do you need when these types of collective energies come forward? So you might want to just flag that week as one where you really sit back and notice like what's going on in your life, and so that you can be a person who responds in ways that you feel good about. What do you need? Do you want to be in contact with the collective energy all day long? Would you like to have boundaries? What do you need so that you can also stay with the creative projects that are most mattering to you? Because you're in a huge moment with your creative life. And it's important to like identify what is worth me not tending to that and what qualifies as worthy of me tending to it. And just you taking care of you being such a huge thing that you're learning. Like you are taking care of you. And you're the one that knows what you need and what you want. And you are unshaming those things. So there's going to be some practice in that week. I don't mean to be scary. I mean, this is part of being alive, but we can prepare for it by preparing some extra space in those weeks to be, able to hear ourselves and to hear our own voices and not get in the wave of the group think that throws you away from yourself. So then when we get to the very end of the month, it's May 31 now, and we have a full moon in Sagittarius. So this full moon in Sagittarius is going to be illuminating your first house. It's You are Sag rising. This is a full moon in Sagittarius. So the moon, what is it illuminating? It's illuminating you. It's illuminating you. Who are you? Where are you going? How do you jump into the world? Like, what's your path right now? What direction are you going? This full moon may be bringing up an awareness of all that you're learning and all the ways you've changed and all the ways that you've grown in learning how to take care of yourself and support yourself, and what structures, what devotions, what nurturance feels really good to you and like really supports you in the specificity of who you are. And the specificity, because it's a specific assignment that you have when you came here. And we often have a really hard time seeing that because we've been given a whole lot of bullshit and validation that has us far away from our sense of ourselves. And so you've been learning things to help you be more true, to help you be more authentic to the truth of you, which is going to be disobedient to those invalidation stories. It's going to be disruptive to the shame that was placed on you. And so this is a chance to like really sit back and see that that shit isn't true. What is true for you? And be with that and honor that, like, the way you step in the world wants to be in resonance with the truth of you that is clears of those distortions. So it's a time to really sit back and take stock of all the ways that you've fortified yourself, grown in yourself, learned to care for yourself more clearly, the ways you've been unshaming, how powerful that is, and how it really has a big effect on how you step into this world, and in turn has an effect on the kinds of partnerships that you have. Because Gemini, when we're in Gemini at the end of the month, that has to, Gemini for you is you in your partnerships, you with the one-on-one partnerships of your life, the big one-on-ones, romantic, business, friendship, the people that you really agree with, like make agreements with. You want to be in present time in those agreements, letting people know who you are now. And they want to be in present time with you, letting you know who they are now so that y'all can adjust agreements in the honesty of who you both are in present time. And so this full moon is giving you this opportunity to be in like awe around yourself so that then you can take that information back to your relationship sector, being inside the fullness of that truth. Thank you so much. My advice is to make a note to listen to this again in like 2 weeks, listen mid-month when you're in it, like you're really in it. Now you have evidence, now you have data, what's been happening. Go in, re-listen, and resource yourself with this again because you will hear it differently. And then I will see you in June. Thank you so much.